Hello everyone, welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3 5th edition, The Two Warlocks with Terrible Perception. If you missed it, at the end of last session we were at the final area in this old abandoned chapel here, and there's a secret chamber where you can get some magic items and other interactions, but in order to do that you have to passively perceive a button, and neither of my heroes was able to passively perceive that button, and as such they both missed it and we did not get the encounter inside. So if you know how to get to that interaction without necessarily seeing that button, I would love to know how, because I would like the necklace of Speak with Undead that is in there, but without it we're just going to have to muddle through. So over this big rock here, you might recognise this is the beach that we came in through. There is another one of these cartilaginous chests. We have a potion of fire resistance, a dark ring that we can add to our wares for selling, and another caustic bulb. So let's just hope we're able to make the jump back up to where we had came from. And climb up this far, shouldn't be too much of a problem. Jump. That'll do it. We can pick Wyll back up. And now, before we head on to areas grander on west, we have a few things here in the southwest to do near the crash. So we're going to spend a few moments just going around doing those. Apparently Gale is just going to stand and meditate here for a while. He's welcome to do that if he wishes. So you can see there's a couple of pathways here that we've not explored, so let's do that now that we've gathered Wyll. Oh look, there's an old friendly face. At least from campaigns past, if not this particular interaction.
Hurry. I've got one of those brain things cornered. There, in the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others?
You can kill it yourself. You're pretty capable.
I was hoping for a kind soul. Well, not to worry.
Dexterity is going to be our forte here. Oh dear. And I don't think we have any inspiration yet, do we?
Shh. Not a word. Let's try to keep that lovely neck of yours in one piece. Hmm? Now, I saw you on the ship, didn't I? Nod?
Nod.
Splendid. And now you're going to tell me exactly what you and those tentacled freaks did to me.
Let me go and I might tell you.
I'm not here for games, you little...
Your mind twists. You're looking out of unfamiliar eyes, prowling dark, busy streets. You try to hold the memory, but it fades to the worm, the light, the fear.
What was that? What's going on?
Right, I've had enough of this. Whisper a cantrip to burn his hand, yes. Charisma check. Oh, come on. That was going to be really cool.
A fine effort, but I've seen it all. I was walking this land whilst your ancestors were learning to crawl. Now tell me, what just happened? What was that?
We can stop and talk if you stop acting like a paranoid lunatic.
Stupid. I saw into your head, you know.
Wyll's just chilling in the back.
You're You're not one of them. They took you. Same as they took me. I'm half tempted to spill your guts all over the dirt anyway, but for now... apologies.
You better have more to offer than apologies.
I'm out of wine and flowers, so I hope an introduction will suffice. My name's Astarion. I was in Baldur's Gate when those beasts snatched me.
I'm just gonna nod.
The strong and silent type. All right. Please tell me you at least know something about these worms.
You know as much as I do.
I suppose it's not exactly common knowledge. These worms are already affecting me. I can feel it. Now, what to do about it?
Do what you want, we're leaving.
No words of wisdom before you go.
I'm not sure. Get drunk, laugh at you, there are plenty of options.
Funny. Well, maybe I'll see you again. Still wearing the same skin, I hope.
Man, his voice actor does such a good job of making you want to be his friend, even though we're doing a duos run here and there's no room in the party for a particularly charismatic rogue.
Ever onward.
But there is a delicious looking boar over there. Gets shoved back by Grace. And let's go with our Blade of Frontiers here. And he gets his 5 temporary hit points for having killed a creature, which is lovely. And look at that. A whole pig for butchering for supplies. Nothing else out here, I don't think. Apart from some plants, which I think we can quite happily leave. Now,
And I'm off.
if we head down here a second, I am aware of a stone. However, we've already established our perception is terrible.
Deep grooves in the mud around that rock.
Oh, okay. I was going to wonder if we weren't going to be strong enough to pick that up.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Whether our Eldritch Blast that can push stuff would move that stone off, but it didn't. But we got what we came for. Gold, rubies, malachite, Harper's Map. We'll read that. Learn about a cache. We'll read this book. And we'll take 2 potions of speed. And we're encumbered. So, Wyll, please take more stuff. What's heavy? Torches are probably heavy. Padded armor, certainly very heavy. We'll go and sell a bunch of this stuff off soon. So
Must be
with
on my way.
those extra bits acquired, there's still one more thing I can think of to do on this side of the world.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
And it wasn't this, but we'll still do this while we're down here. In here... Oh, there's a fish. It's not the fish I was thinking of. Will it be this one? Yes, thieves' tools and a locked chest. Only on a nat 1 can we fail. Certainly succeed on a nat 20. Currently, in this version of Early Access, there is a slight difference from the standard tabletop edition in that in tabletop, in combat, a natural 1 is a critical failure and a natural 20 is a critical success. However, in this current version of Baldur's Gate 3, even in skill checks and social checks, oh come on guys, there you go. Even in skill checks and social checks, nat 1 and nat 20s are failures and successives respectively, even when it's only a social check rather than a combat check. And if we move through here, there's one last part of the ship. Interesting. Normally, coming through here, I would expect to find a dying Mindflayer surrounded by a bunch of fishermen and such. But they're not here. I don't know if that's a glitch. I don't know if it's been removed. I don't know if, because we went on our way up to the Druid's Grove already and didn't interact with this earlier, whether this particular encounter has moved on to a different state. But the Mindflayer blood is here. The Mindflayer itself is not. So that is curious, but we will just continue to press on, I suppose. So let's get up here. We'll jump over the fire so that we don't have to worry about trying to burn ourselves. Because I like all of my hit points and I'd like to keep them all if possible. Excellent. So that's all of the interactions I can think to have on this side of the Druid's Gates. So while we're here, we'll run into town, and inside we can speak to Aaron, the tradesman. The trader, rather. They're not somebody that does electronics and plumbing. We'll sell off a bunch of this extra stuff that we have. So let's walk our way up. Here he is at the entrance to town. If he loads.
Refugees, well met. And thank you for beating back those goblins.
You're very welcome. Right, we do not need plates, glasses, or the other stuff. We don't need an extra pair of shields or a pair of padded armor. I'll keep the spare daggers, I'll keep the torches, I'll keep the food. So that's everything that Wyll has on his person for trading. Anything over here that we want? This is light. Oh, but it's not finesse. We've had this discussion before. But we could probably take some healing potions off of him. And a couple of arrows of fire wouldn't do us badly either. Screw it, I'll take an arrow of lightning too. So we'll do that trading, then we'll swap over to Grace. We can click the sell wares here. That will take everything that I marked as the wares as we came across. And what else don't we need? We'll keep the food, we'll keep the water. We don't need the cups. Don't need the precious stones. I don't think we're ever going to wield this. As interesting as it is, we don't have the strength to deal with it. And I don't think there are any things that are going to be able to get our strength stat up permanently, like a belt of hill giant strength in this particular build of the game currently. Spells that we can't cast. Definitely not Guiding Bolt. Definitely not Scroll of Protect from Good and Evil, I think. It's hard to remember what's on what spell list. But that will do for now. I will take a couple of those.
Please. I won't leave them behind.
And I think we'll be on our way. Don't need any of these particular spells. So there's 1,000 in cash pretty early on. We'll hold on to these extra gloves and we'll be on our way. So I think with the 7 or 8 minutes that we would have on a length of a typical episode, we might be able to go outside and get to the cache up above us. If we just hop out of this gate. We can head on up this cliff here. At least between the two of us we should be able to make this jump.
Checking things out.
Yep, we're both up. Climb the cragged rocks. Camera doesn't want to join the party, but we can force it to. And then it's everyone's old best friend, the wooden ladder. Had a lot of issues last campaign with wooden ladders, but we'll give them another chance. Coincidentally, we did just have hotfix 15, I think it was. But that was just about some crashes during launching.
Necklace matches the sigil in that cave. The Harpers were busy.
Yeah, some crashing relating to resolutions and things like that, as opposed to bug fixes proper. So up here is the heavy chest, that is the cache proper. And we'll take this copper ring. Now, off of that corpse, we did collect a necklace. Show me by most recent, please. And so this is the rusty necklace with the guidance divination cantrip on it. Because this is a magic item, either character can quite happily use this cantrip, even though it's not one on the Warlock spell list. So why not? We'll give that to Wyll to equip, and he can now cast guidance whenever he so wishes. And that will give us an extra 1d4 on a check. Now, the game lets you add that 1d4 to basically any interaction you're having at any time. But I think, say you were being interrogated by policemen. If you were to stop in that conversation and go, I cast a magic spell, they're not going to be happy with you during that conversation, regardless of what magic spell that might be. So I like to roleplay that whilst you might use it if you're making like a religion check or a nature check, for actual conversations with people, I try and not abuse guidance because it seems
a bag covered with spiders.
Slightly inappropriate.
A gold coin pokes from its mouth.
But for something like this, a nature check, by all means, we will add guidance right now. So it's a 12 plus 2, and then this will roll a d4 for an extra plus 1 over that DC 10.
The creatures clutch the pouch possessively. You have no doubt a spider egg is nestled within.
So we can do an animal handling check from plus 2 from animal handling and a plus 1d4 from the guidance that is still active for 1 minute. Or we can try sleight of hand, plus 1 from dexterity and 1d4 from guidance. Obviously our animal handling is better, so we will speak softly to the spider with our songs. DC 15. And even with a 4, we wouldn't be able to make that. So we have failed this check.
Skitter about, more nervous than before.
Well, we can still try and dart our hand in. Still a very high difficulty class. And even with max rolls, we could only get to 14, so that's not gone well either.
Pincers pierce your flesh, and
so we take 7 damage, which is enough to just cause us issues with our temporary hit points. But also we have lost our concentration on guidance, but that's not a problem. We could simply try again to cast it when we need to on our next check.
At the back
So
of the crevice lies a bag covered with spiders.
we'll get Grace in.
Tiny gold coin pokes from its mouth.
So she has plus 3 from dexterity and plus 2 from sleight of hand. So far more likely to make this check. And Wyll can still offer guidance as well. So the 11 with all of our other bonuses gets us to 15.
The spiders scatter and you stash the bag. Something clinks among the coins.
And we received item pouch. Looking inside, we can see there is 13 gold pieces and a spider egg sac. Something or some things wriggle within the sticky shell. So can we pull that out of that bag? It's quite heavy, so let's hand that to Wyll. But for now, we have done that. And then begs the question, do we want to murder the spiders inside? And I think Wyll with his... He had proficiency in nature, didn't he? That is one of the things that he does. No, he has +2 intelligence for just standard +2 in nature, but Wyll is all about protecting goblins... slaying goblins, protecting civilians and innocents. So we will have him make the decision not to kill the little spiders if we don't have to. Because you don't have to kill every last creature you find out here in the wilderness. So from here we'll just make our way down the various crags and crevices. Down these stones, and we find ourselves back down on the main path. So next time we will carry on west. We'll see what other adventures exist. Grace is going to go back up that ladder because she really likes ladders. Wyll makes it down without injuring himself. Let's see if Grace can do the same. Hey, she sticks the landing. Alright, well, that's going to be all for today. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you're enjoying this series, please do consider subscribing or hitting that like button. It does mean a lot to me. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.